losses. The minister has hinted at plans to introduce a strategic investor to bail out the national carrier, South African Airways. In the meantime, the outlook for the South African economy for 2019, following the latest report of the GDP, points to a country's economy that's under extreme stress. Inflation is accelerating, placing pressure on the central bank to rethink on interest rates when it next sits in July. Angela Kupla has more.
There are also global themes that are affecting South Africa, including the trade tensions between China and the US, which are adding to the country's economic woes.
So imagine South Africa is a long-distance runner. It's already fallen face flat. But this is a marathon, not a sprint. I expect the South African economy, South African Reserve Bank, to suggest a potential rate cut, but this will be contingent on what the Federal Reserve does in July.
South Africa is a small open economy, easily and heavily influenced by currency moves, and also by the availability of capital flowing into and out of the country. There's also the export footprint. Internationally, there's a new trend that's emerging and it could work in South Africa's favour.
I think there's a new key global theme that everyone's talking about right now, and it's how central banks are all coming together to suggest the potential stimulus measures to counter a global slowdown. Now, should this become reality, this is going to positively impact global risk sentiment and naturally positively push the rand, which is an emerging market currency.
The world is also watching what happens between China and the United States.
The silver lining I'll be looking at, of course, will be trade developments. We all know how trade developments have played out. There's a lot of optimism over both sides securing a trade deal, only for investors to be left empty-handed. The G20 meeting is quite significant. While it's unexpected that both sides are going to secure a trade deal, a market-friendly outcome will be a situation where the United States and China agree to restart trade talks. This will open path for central banks across the globe to continue with stimulus measures, which will naturally positively push risk sentiment higher.
It's a tough business environment at the moment, and it's a question of whether those silver linings are going to come through sooner rather than later. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN in Johannesburg, South Africa.